Hello there, Coach Adam with Soccer Roots. I had an amazing question from a lady who said, me and my husband are separating. We have a 3-year-old. What advice can you give me in regards to sport, soccer, to kind of help that process? I said, look, it's going to be applicable to soccer, sure, but this is something that you have to continue every day of your life for the rest of your life, really. The most important thing is always this: connection and relationships between you and your child and your ex-partner and the child. That's it. So don't get caught up on nuclear structures. You know, they came from this background. It doesn't really matter. Research shows really it all comes down to the connection and maintaining those connections so that the child perceives that nothing has kind of gone to pot effectively as a result of their parents splitting. Now that can be a big moment, right? So we need to look at that and think, what can we do to make this a seamless or as seamless as we can? So there's the first point: connection. Don't break any connections. Maintain those relationships just as they were before and continue those. The next major point I would say is that keep your friendship groups just the same. Bring them in even more so than they did before. Keep the stability of previous moments and relationships and that kind of stuff fluid and consistent. Okay, so don't change those. The third one, a huge one: never talk negatively about your ex-partner in front of your child. I would just make it a rule to not do it ever, because you know those habits of course will creep in and then you will eventually slip, and we don't want that to happen. Why? Now, the reason why you guys broke up isn't anything to do with your child. They are a separate entity. They are their own journey. Your job is to be mature and work on your own trauma within the relationship to make sure that it doesn't spill over into their life, okay? So you have to remember that their identity has been crafted not just by you, the mother, or you, the father, but by both of you. So if you're talking negatively about the father, the mother, whatever it may be, you're literally stealing part of the identity which makes them, that they believe and trust in. You're shaking the foundations of everything that they knew. So we need to make sure that we're never talking negatively about your ex-partner, okay? And then the final one that I wanted to kind of pick up on within that, I wrote it down because it was so important, is arguments can be healthy. Okay, so arguments may arise between you and your son, you and your daughter, if they're a little bit older in this situation. These arguments can be healthy, and you don't want to suppress their feelings in this moment. They are spilling out like, oh my gosh, my parents are breaking up, right? They're trying to figure out what's going on. We've all seen movies and they slam the door and they're like, you don't love me anymore. All this kind of stuff, right? They're just looking for that connection. So stay calm. Take a breath and realize this is them expressing their own fears and anxieties about what's happening in the current situation, okay? So the arguments can be healthy. The most important thing of any argument, and this is just in general forever, even though if you're a man or a woman that argues, it's never to win. If you're a person that argues to win, that's your own thing that you need to go back and fix from your childhood, because that is a learned behavior effectively, right? So we never argue to win, we argue to resolve. And non-argument based households can be just as problematic as the opposite. So I know it's ridiculous, but you have to live in that moment in the middle where you're looking to argue to resolve, not argue to win or argue for the sake of arguing. It's always about arguing to resolve and taking those step by step. What did we work through? That way the child can see you're working through your problems as an adult, right? That's what they're looking to. They're looking to you as their hero. So hopefully that answered your question and is applicable to anybody else who's at home. Just remember those kind of steps to create an optimal environment for your child to flourish in when perhaps the foundations of everything they knew are rocking. Okay, so thank you so much for that question. Like, share, and leave a comment if that resonates with you, and thank you so much for watching Coach Adam with Soccer Roots.